What's going on, guys? Today we are taking a look at Might Gaine from the self-titled anime. What we have here is the actual Might Gaine unit. Now, if you've ever watched Brave series, you always have the human buddy, who is going to be in this train, the more not so massive humanoid robot, which will be this guy, who's otherwise known as Gaine, and then the bit that they all combine into, which is this guy right here, this giant locomotive. So let's go ahead and take a look at each one of these guys individually real quick. The two trains are virtually the same. We have the human piloted train and then the AI piloted train, or Gaine. Both of these guys are pretty cool. They're about the size of a standard class deluxe figure, or the lengthwise anyway, but widthwise, as you can see, they're pretty small. Each of them has their own transformation. I'll show you those in a minute. Now, they do combine into a single bullet train. However, I am missing or can't find the piece that they combine with. So what you do is you flip out the two fists of the giant robot mode, and then a little plastic insert comes down in between and holds them together. The human piloted train has a flight mode that, well, pretty much you just fold out a tail fin, fold out some wings in the front, and flip out the back parts to form the wings, and that's it. We have a little flying train. Yeah, my only complaint with this is the wings in the back don't fold out far enough to actually generate lift for a vehicle of this size and weight. Just, you know, a little bit of physics there for you. Next up is Gaine, and he himself, or Might Gaine, transforms thusly. Take the front bit, or the front wheels, and they will both fold out to form shoulders. But before we do that, we can extend the back part of the train out and down and flip out the feet. Then flip out what will be the robot arms. Fold the whole section up, collapse it, and then flip out the head. And yes, I am wearing a Band-Aid because I managed to do something nasty to myself earlier. So then we flip out the arms. Gaine is okay. He is a cool little bot. Very little articulation, though. The moving arms is about it, and the general wobbliness, I guess that's articulation. Head sculpt is pretty show accurate, but not exact, and that's always been an issue with the Brave series. The only issue I've ever had with Brave series in general is they look really cool on the show, and then you get a hold of them, and well, they're just toys. Oh well. Now this guy does come with a little gun, but for the life of me, I could not find it. There was a baggie of about 20 different little guns, and well, the directions are not very detailed oriented, so it's kind of hard to tell which one was his. But if I find it, I will let you know. I did forget to flip down this little bit that hides a little bit of the kibble there, but you don't really need to flip it down for robot mode. The big engine unit that appears in the show is over a foot long and is very nicely detailed. And overall, it looks really cool. It does have some lights and sounds in this mode, so first we put in AAA batteries, and then we flip the switch and start moving him. So yeah, it's got lights and sounds aplenty, and boy are they annoying. He can also store the other two trains in this mode, so first we will flip out these bits, and then pull the black sections out, and they'll slide right out, so we can put Gaine and Might into the back and fold them up. So we can store those in vehicle mode, a nice touch. Then it can also attach to any of the other train units that are in this toy line. Unfortunately, Might Gaine is the only one I've been able to get a hold of from the line as total at the time of this video. But it is nice that he can combine with all of them. He can also attach up front, and he can hitch in the back. So there is a fold-out hitch right here, though, like so. So let's go ahead and get these guys merged up. We'll take the smaller engines and move them off to the side and concentrate on the big guy first. Remove these smokestacks. Slide the gray bits up. Fold up the giant robot feet. take the conductor windows and slide them down to form shins, and then stand the whole thing up, and then split the legs apart. Coming up to the top of the vehicle, take the entire top of the vehicle and twist it around like that, and then bring the whole front section down and flip down and peg in the skirt. Or in this case, it was the cattle catcher on the train mode. Next up, we're taking a look at the little train. So first, unfold the little train, and then flip open the one wing so we can fold out the fist and position it correctly. And then get the little wing, or little peg, folded out correctly. And I like to put them on such that the screw holes are pointing towards the back. Next up is Gaine. First, fold out the fist, extend the entire body, and then turn it such that we can get the peg out, and make sure that it's such that the screw holes are pointing to the back again. There we go. Take those smokestacks that we were talking about earlier and make sure that the long side is pointing forward, and attach them to the side skirt like this. And then we'll attach the arms. Peg hole number 1 and peg hole number 2. So you want to kind of push in and then angle the engines at 45 degrees or 35 degrees. Fold up the head, and we're done. Overall, Might Gaine is a very impressive looking robot and a nice addition to the Brave series. He really doesn't have much in the way of posability, but he does have posability at the shoulders and the elbows. So that's more than most Super Sentai figures. He does come with a sword, a gold sword with engine wheels, but as you can see, mine's it's just a little bit bent, but I'll have him wield it just so you can see. So this is actually the Sono Kong release. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to get a hold of anybody else from this toy line, even though there are some other figures from the Might Gaine line. The figure does have lights and sounds in this mode, and as you can see, here he is holding the twisted sword. There's a little button underneath here. Other than that, I haven't really been able to get him to make any other sounds, specifically this being the Sono Kong release. So, oh, okay. He has machine gun sounds. Other than that, and the horn, I'm not sure what else I can do for him. I'm looking at the directions right now, and they really don't tell me anything, unfortunately. They just say, push the button to make him have sounds. And I did that, and he just makes loud, shouty noises. As Brave series figures go, Might Gaine is still pretty cool, but overly simplistic, and that's kind of a shame because the show was interesting, if not a little bit weird. I mean, trains everywhere. I mean, it doesn't really work for an American audience, but for a Japanese audience, it makes perfect sense. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video review of Might Gaine. I hope to be able to get a hold of more figures from his toy line, but as of right now, this is the only one I've got. He's worth picking up, but I would put him at the bottom of your list, or almost at the bottom, for the main series from the Brave series, or the main hero from the Brave series, since there are a lot of other cooler figures out there. As usual, I'll catch you next time.